So would you be, I know it's not good to compare one city with another city, but just wanted to...
No, I compare us often, and I would say that we're way ahead of Mississauga. We're a much better city than Mississauga.
Do you think we are way ahead of them?
100%, absolutely.
In what
every
case?
aspect of the people of Brampton,
So
everything that we're doing in the city of
first.
Brampton.
When we praise any politician, especially the mayor or any councillor, most of the time people don't like that. They don't want to hear anything which is in the praise of any politicians. They want to listen how accountable they are.
For sure.
And why we are praising them. That's what they want to hear.
Absolutely. I would say a seasoned politician.
Okay.
I'm probably a little bit busier than maybe some of the newer politicians.
Okay. Do you think all level of governments are going to the right direction, or still do we need to think about differently?
But 911 is so backlogged with, the phone calls about a cat.
Let's welcome Mr. Michael Palleschi.
𝐒𝐞𝐬𝐭, how are you?
I'm good, Michael.
Everything's good?
Perfect. So
beautiful office. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so how's everything?
Excellent. Yeah, it's a good day to be a Bramptonian. So many events coming up and some great things.
Especially in this nice weather, everybody wants to enjoy it.
Beautiful, absolutely.
Right.
Last night I was driving past Credit View Sandalwood Park Mobility Hub, and to see all the people that were walking around was amazing.
Exactly. So Michael, in the last few weeks, I was interviewing with the different candidates for Mississauga mayoral election, and most of the time when I was just exploring about the Mississauga, there are many points where we can relate with Mississauga, and there are many points where we feel like we are way behind than them. So would you be, I know it's not good to compare one city with another city, but just wanted to...
No, I compare us often, and I would say that we're way ahead of Mississauga. We're a much better city than Mississauga.
Do you think we are way ahead of them?
100%, absolutely.
In what
every
case?
aspect of the people of Brampton,
So
everything that we're doing in the city of
first.
Brampton. ASE cameras, for one. We were the first one to do that. We have a mayor that... I don't think the city of Brampton or any other municipality has seen a mayor that works as hard as
I think for
ours.
that I can agree with you.
Mayor Brown is so progressive in what he's been doing at even his lobbying of the federal level, the provincial level has
true,
I think leapfrogged Brampton into another level for sure.
Right, but when we praise any politician, especially the mayor or any councillor, most of the time people don't like that. They don't want to hear anything which is in the praise of any politicians. They want to listen how accountable they are.
For sure.
And why we are praising them. That's what they want to hear.
Absolutely. So, and I'm the last one to give myself praise, but I would say that this council, this is my third term now.
Okay.
So I have 2 other terms to compare to, and how we're getting along and how we're moving the agenda at the city. And I was a big advocate going into this term, and you can ask all of my council colleagues that my biggest thing was, let's make a decision. No more sitting on our hands, because sitting on our hands costs the taxpayers money in terms of if we're looking to redesign, if we're looking to make any types of decisions, it's going to cost us if we don't make a decision. So I need to know who, what, where, when, why, and how much, and let's make a decision. And that's my biggest thing for this term.
Okay, so as we were discussing off the air, this is first time when I'm interviewing you. Many people, they are already aware about Michael Palleschi, but still some of the people, they wanted to know more about Michael Palleschi. Who's Michael Palleschi, and why you are in this field, which is called politics?
Well, I think it's a little bit easier for me just because I was able to see my father for almost 30 years help as many people as he did. And, that's truly what I love about politics. I love about the job is when you can get anybody from somebody that didn't have their garbage picked up to help them out, or you can get a single mom looking for a place to live, and you can help them as well. So the range is vast, but that's why I love this job, is being able to help as many people as possible.
So was it your dream all the time, or it was just by chance?
No, I was in the private sector, and we owned a company out in Georgetown. Sold it to a company in Mississauga, and once I moved from the ownership to the non-decision maker, I kind of felt like I wanted to do something else, and Dad was looking to retire, so it was always something that we talked about around the dinner table, but never had the opportunity until it presented itself. So once it did, just being in the car, going to either events or having my dad drop me off at sporting things that I was doing, listening to the phone calls that he would be making in the car, talking to residents or talking to anybody about trying to help people.
Right.
That's what gets instilled in you. It gets engraved into your DNA as a young child. So that's what I truly love to do.
So how reachable Michael Palleschi is? How do you make sure that your supporters and residents are getting access of Michael Palleschi?
For sure. So as I would say a seasoned politician, I'm probably a little bit busier than maybe some of the newer politicians.
Okay.
But our office has a 24-hour policy. You get a call back within 24 hours.
Right.
I need to try and figure out what the issue is.
Right.
And but accessibility is a very high priority, either on telephone or by way of email.
So can we just share your office contact number so that in case anybody wants to talk to you regarding wards 2 and 6 or any other wards?
Absolutely. So michael.palleschi@brampton.ca is my email. Best way to get a hold of me, giving me as much information as possible in the email.
Okay.
Or you can call my office number, which I've never called it, but it's 905-874-2661.
So you always prefer emails only?
No, anything that's easier for anybody to if they want to really pick up the phone and talk to somebody, pick up the phone and talk to somebody. But if you put it in an email, if emails, I think
for the document purpose, it's always good.
Absolutely.
But do you know, most of the time in our community, especially when we are talking on a Punjabi radio show, most of the time our people are a little bit lazy in that process. They
I wouldn't say lazy, but it's difficult because as English as a second language, or somebody that just doesn't speak English, it's important to me.
So do we have enough staff who can assist them in another language?
In my office is multiple languages. Absolutely.
Okay, and how would you compare your previous tenure with this time?
My previous
terms? Terms, yeah.
I think my first term as I came in as a rookie, but still had some of that background from my father, and so it was good. It was fresh. It was a good term. The last term was a difficult one, as I'm sure you know. There was some turmoil.
So the council was divided, and
very much divided, and then the ones that controlled the vote did some stuff that obviously was illegal, and we had an amazing now deputy mayor, but councillor then 𝐒𝐞𝐿 took it upon himself to question that, took it to the courts, and we won. So they didn't do it something that was illegal, and then this term it was clear that the voters wanted change and put back the councillors that were on that legal side of things, and added some new ones as well.
So when we see the most of the councils are unanimously on a same table, on a same note, when it comes to the major issues, do you think that's a good for the residents when the council is unanimous on any point, or there should be a differences between the thoughts, and there should somebody who's giving the check and balances? Yeah,
so there's a difference between unanimous and spirited debate, and we have spirited debate at council. So I may not see eye to eye with another councillor, but let's have the debate and let's get down to what the issue is and solve the problem. And I think that's what this term is all about. We may not agree on everything, but we're going to talk it through, and we're going to get the information to make the right decision.
So do you think that the mayor is cooperating in any situation, whether you are in favor of him or you are opposing him?
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely willing to hear everybody's point of view and listen to the facts. But in the end, the mayor is just one vote, right? So, and with that, he is definitely a leader that treats everybody with respect and listens to what they have to say before he goes ahead and makes a decision.
So, according to Michael Palleschi, what are the main priorities that you wanted to complete in this term?
So I think some of the personal main priorities is building healthy and safety neighborhoods.
Okay.
I want to continue some of the great parks that we have in the city of Brampton. I think we have some of the best in Canada. I want to continue building those. We have 100,000 people plus that are coming to Heritage Heights, which is west of Mississauga Road, north of Williams Parkway, all the way out to Georgetown. So we have a big community that we have to build there properly. Recreation facility as well, but safety is always on is the utmost importance for me.
Right.
So, and that's why I moved that we developed the community safety office, which is going extremely well right now in the city of Brampton. They're doing some amazing things with community engagement, education.
Right.
And then I have my environmental education center that's finally coming through design. I've been talking about it for 9 years.
Okay.
So that's west of Heritage Roads on the south side of Beauvais. And the reason why I wanted an environmental education center was I heard loud and clear from teachers that when they were given a list of what school trips that they would choose from, though going to Bellefontaine or into Caledon or into other areas to learn about the environment was getting a little bit too expensive. So I thought, why not have something right here in Brampton? And that's going to be led by the Credit Valley Conservation Authority, which I am also the chair of this term.
Right. And also let's talk about the speeding cameras, because that's something major which is coming in the next weeks or in the months, because I think by the end of July the city will have 150 cameras, right?
We have 100 more coming, 50 currently.
Okay.
Brampton was the first one to start talking about it. We were the second ones to have them implemented.
Okay.
But I've always been supportive and in favor of putting these cameras, especially in school zones.
Right.
If anybody gets caught speeding in a school zone, I have no sympathy for that person.
Right.
If you're going to take the life of our children in their hands, then I think that you do deserve a fine. For speeding in school zones. You can't use these school zones as cut-through traffic anymore. They're for our children. They're for our parents to drop off the children. And so we need to make sure that speeding isn't happening in our community safety zones. And so I'm a big supporter of these cameras.
So what are the arrangements to monitor all those cameras? And I am sure the new center will be not serving the Brampton only, but I think we are serving other cities too.
Yeah, so about the center, which is good. It was Toronto that always they took care of the ticketing, and we didn't want that because they only have a limited
Brampton
capacity.
have their own facility.
So now we're going to have our own. We just passed the motion to hire some of those officers that need to review the images, because provincial legislation requires an officer to be able to issue the ticket.
Right.
So they're going to look at the cameras, look at the images, and to issue those tickets. So it's coming along. It's coming online. It's hopefully soon, and it's in. It's going to be, I think we've announced this. If not, then I'm going to be offside here. But it's coming to Heart Lake in one of my favorite buildings, which is the old Brampton Hydro building, I believe, is where.
And will it be 24/7 monitoring or for certain times?
The cameras are out there 24/7.
Okay.
As for when we issue the tickets, I think it'll be the shift. It really depends on the number of violations that come in.
Okay.
But we also want to lend this resource out to other municipalities that don't want to use Toronto anymore, because Toronto is so far backlogged.
Okay.
So we want to be able to also do the same for other municipalities and hopefully offset some of the costs to Brampton residents.
And what would be the proportion in terms of cost and revenue with the speeding cameras and all that arrangements we are making?
So as of right now, we had a KPMG, I believe, or a Deloitte report that that showed us, and I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but we have some serious revenues that can come in to the city of Brampton. Now the city isn't allowed to make money, but that money is going to go back into community safety and ensuring that our Brampton residents are safe, and so that's where those revenues are earmarked for community safety.
And another major issue is auto theft. Even though it's a provincial and federally integrated issue, what's your take on that?
Well, I think I agree with you 100% provincially and federally, and somewhat regionally as well. And as a regional councillor, you look at that one mayor that was the first to talk about what needs to be done. Mayor Brown, went out to Montreal, went out to Ottawa to advocate for to get the right technology at the ports that need to be. We need to check these containers. We need to stop these, this crime wave and this organized crime of being able to remove the cars from our driveways. And unfortunately, they're super smart and have this technology that can basically at a click of a button take your vehicle. But and it's definitely unfortunate. And I've as I'm sure a lot of people have gone to these new security systems for our cars that are costing a lot of money, and some insurance companies are giving a little bit of rebate for these new systems to put in your car. But in terms of auto theft, I think our community safety office and Peel Regional Police have a pretty good education program about how to deter as much as possible. But it is an organized crime syndicate that needs to be stopped. Needs to be stopped at the ports. These vehicles can no longer leave our country, and we all know that's essentially what's going to stop.
Do you think all level of governments are going to the right direction, or still do we need to think about differently? Anything different?
I think that they have done some steps. You see, PRP has made some significant busts and catching a lot of criminals that have stolen vehicles. So I think that's in the positive and in the right direction. But there's always something more you can do. And anytime I sit and listen to Mayor Brown speak about what needs to be done, I don't disagree. It's just we can't do it at the local level. It has to be done at the ports. It has to be done at the borders.
On a similar note, what we call shoplifting and break-ins, that's also increasing.
You see, a lot of social media. You see some videos coming out of the States where there's people that are getting almost dangerous going into these stores to shoplift. And now you go into some of our stores, Shoppers Drug Mart or even the grocery stores, and you see baby formula being locked up and stuff like that.
And just on a lighter note, in liquor stores too.
Liquor stores as well. Yes, I've seen some videos of people walking out,
just trying to
just brazen and extremely unfortunate. On that level, I think that PRP is significantly underfunded, as Brampton is and the region of Peel. We need to continue to fight for our fair share at the provincial level. We're below the provincial average significantly.
Right.
But that being said, in the northwest end of Brampton, I did move a minister's zoning order to have the next division, and I think it's 13 division coming to the northwest, and that's going to put more officers on the streets in the north, right across the top end of the city. We have 22, we have 12 division, and that puts a lot of officers in that area.
Right.
But having one in the northwest, and then soon, hopefully, having one in the northeast, and I know Councillor Tour and Councillor Deputy Mayor Singh are working on having that next one in the northeast as well.
Right. So, Michael, most of the time, residents are confused where to complain. Sometimes when they are complaining on 311, they say you need to call on 911. let's say
So
if anybody is
they would
calling
never say
911.
911 unless it's an emergency. And,
Okay.
and that's right on.
So where to call and
311's.
when to call and how to decide that, because
Yes.
most of the time people are confused about that.
So PRP's non-emergency number is a good number to have and to be able to call. And you would use that call if it is not an emergency. If if nobody's injured, if I realize that an invasion of property is definitely significant for anybody. Would hate for anybody to go through that. But 911 is so backlogged with the phone calls
And
about
when to call
a cat in a
311.
tree.
So when to call 311?
311 is mainly city issues. If there's a car parked on the street, anything that's bylaw related, blocking driveways or issue at a rec center or snowplow issues or grass cutting issues, stuff like that. But the non-emergency number at PRP, for any vandalization or anything that's non-emergency, is definitely a good number to have.
Right. So friends, this is Harjinder Gill show and our special segment, Political Pulse. Mr. Michael Palleschi, he is a councillor for wards 2 and 6. He's with us today, and we're just having some discussion about the city's politics, and this is the first time when we are interviewing him, and it's very nice to have him in our studio. So Michael, before we leave you, actually there is a caller, I think he's holding since long, so can we just take him on air if you allow? Hello.
ਗੁਰਮੁਖੋ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਚ ਨਾ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਮਝਾ ਸਕੂੰ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਓ
ਉਹ ਏਰੀਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਅੱਛਾ
ਵਾਰਡਸ 2 and 6
ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਏਰੀਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ 6 and 2 ਅੱਛਾ ਬੱਸ ਸਟਾਪ ਨੰਬਰ 2217 ਉੱਥੇ ਬੱਸ ਸਟਾਪ ਸੀ ਸ਼ੈਡ ਸੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਐਕਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੋੜਤਾ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਚੱਕ ਲਈਆਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹੋ ਕਮ ਸੇ ਕਮ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ ਰਖਵਾ ਦਿਓ ਮੇਰੀ ਉਮਰ 84 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਹੈ ਬੜਾ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਕੈਪਟਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰਸੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਮੇਨ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸੋ ਬੱਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ 2217 ਇਹਦਾ ਹੋਸ਼
2217 ਬਿਹਾਈਂਡ ਦਾ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤ ਮੈਕਲਾਗਨ ਰੋਡ. In this time, repair
Yep, do you know about that's behind Regan Road.
So actually, he's having a concern about 2217. Okay, yes. So he said that there is a 2217 bus stop and it's damaged.
It's so they're currently doing the construction.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ?
ਹਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਐਕਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ.
ਓਕੇ ਜੀ.
ਉਹ ਬੱਸ ਸਟਾਪ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ੈਡ ਜਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਤੋੜਤਾ ਉਹ ਲੈ ਗਏ.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ. ਵੈਸੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ ਚਾਰ ਵਾਰ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸੁਣੋ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਯਾਰ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਪੱਥਰ ਰਖਵਾ ਦਿਓ ਇੱਕ ਪੱਥਰ ਪਿਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਸਹਾਰਾ ਲੈਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ. ਉਹ ਲਾਈਟਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਲਵਾਈਆਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਦਾਸ ਦੀ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੀ ਮੇਅਰ ਨੂੰ. ਮੈਂ ਮੇਅਰ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਅਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹੋ ਯਾਰ.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਵੀ. ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੈਸੇ 311 ਤੇ ਵੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੰਪਲੇਂਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ?
ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਾਣਦੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂ
ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ
ਕਈ ਦਫਾ ਦੱਸ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ. ਨਵਜੋਤ ਕੌਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਈ.
ਨਵਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ
ਉਹਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਬੱਸ ਸਟਾਪ ਦਾ 2217.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ. ਬਸ ਵੈਸੇ I think Michael, if anybody wants to complain regarding that damaged bus stop, so the 311
they can definitely call us. So right behind Regan Road Gurdwara, the bus stop there, I'm having a new one built that's going to be closer to that crosswalk that Councillor Barr and myself, we had a crosswalk installed across McLaughlin Road because a lot of our seniors, a lot of uncles and aunties were walking across that road without a crosswalk. So we had one built there, and then so we have a bus stop on the one side, but the construction is still going on. So maybe that's what he's.
So his concern was regarding the damaged bus stop.
So we haven't.
He said the shed is damaged. I think somebody hit a car in there.
Okay, so I'll drive by tonight and have a look, but I don't think we have bus shelters there yet.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਸਰ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ.
ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਅਦਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਸੇ ਵੇਲੇ
ਨਹੀਂ ਸਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਈ ਜੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਵੀ I think Michael Palleschi is also understanding little bit Punjabi
little bit ਹਾਂਜੀ
okay sir
ਹਾਂਜੀ
thank you sir
ਜਾਣਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਨਕੋ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਇਕਬਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੋਲ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਆ
okay ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ sir so nice of you thank you so Michael see these kind of small issues sometimes people don't know where to complain and where to call and what to do with that.
That's us.
Because
that's us.
Yeah, so 311 or your direct office, right?
Yeah, 311 or direct office.
When you say most of the time you want or you prefer the email only, but I think sometimes people wanted to talk over the phone instead of emailing or anything like that. So or they wanted to put the personal touch, right? So
I love the personal touch.
Yeah.
I love talking to residents.
Exactly.
I love trying to understand what the issues are.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're here for. We at the local level touch your life on a daily basis more than any other level of government.
Right.
So I think getting to know your public official at the municipality, Councillor Brar and myself, are amazing. She's an amazing counselor, and we're here to serve and to respect the wishes of the taxpayers.
Right. So before we conclude this interview, what do you have to say about the 50th anniversary?
Yeah. So
because you must be very excited.
Really excited
because you have a very important role for that. So let's hear about yourself.
Nothing to do with me. Not important for me whatsoever. But for
so what's
Brampton,
your role for that?
I don't know my role, but I will be there to enjoy the festivities for sure.
Okay.
So on Saturday, June 29th from 2 to 10 p.m. at 𝐒𝐞𝐬𝐿 Park, we're celebrating Brampton's 50th, the incorporation since 1974. We have a ton of the Juno Award winners, headline performers, Brampton Arts Walk of Fame
Juno
inductees.
Award winners from Punjabi community or
Juno, from every community.
Because otherwise Mr.
Community.
𝐤𝐵𝐿𝐿 was one of them. So maybe I thought Mr. 𝐤𝐵𝐿𝐿 is coming there. No,
I can't give away any names, and I've been strictly instructed
so you know
not to give.
You know about 𝐤𝐵𝐿𝐿?
Absolutely.
Okay, I thought when you say Juno Award winner, so I thought maybe that's.
It's. I can't give away any names right now. I have strict instructions.
Okay. So why did you say Juno Award winner then?
We have Juno Award winners that are coming.
Okay, so that means it could be a nice excitement, right?
It's going to be extremely exciting, very much so. And I also want to thank Northwest Lexus and Triple M Metals for being the sponsors. But our 𝐵EO, so our Brampton Arts organization,
right,
are taking the lead on this, and they have some creative things that are happening right across the city for our 50th anniversary. And again, I'm looking at a text that says, "Do not release names of." So
okay.
Stay tuned.
So maybe I just what we call is reveal
a teaser. Did you provide a teaser?
No, I'm not sure about that.
Regardless,
don't count on me.
Saturday, June 29th. 2 to 10 p.m. at 𝐒𝐿 Park.
Okay, thank you so much. So friends, this is Mr. Michael Palleschi, and before we let you go, your closing remarks.
Closing what?
Closing remarks.
Hey, listen, I think I love Brampton. I absolutely love everything about it. Born and raised in Heart Lake. I did move away for a second and then hated every minute of me moving away and came back as soon as I could because I love everything about Brampton. I love growing up here, and like I said, just driving out past Credit View Activity Hub yesterday and seeing so many people out walking around, the smile on the faces. We have so many fantastic events that are coming up. Even Bike the Creek is coming tomorrow at Saturday at Jim Archdeacon. 1,700 people from around the world are coming to Jim Archdeacon in Ward 2 to bike the 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿𝐿 Creek, all the way from Caledon up to Caledon or down to Mississauga. There's lots of routes. Those are some of the events, just some of them that are happening in Brampton, and I just love every bit of Brampton. I love Bramptonians and the smile on their faces, and I realize that there's a lot of media out there, and some of the big ones that say some negative things about Brampton, but I have to say that Brampton is most possibly the best city to live in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Perfect. And I've traveled a little bit, but I absolutely love Brampton.
Perfect. Thank you, and I hope to if I know there are some points where we need to work on, but definitely
for sure.
I think the improvement is always required, and
absolutely
the room is always there.
Absolutely, and I think that this council too, if they're making decisions, and I think we're the first ones to say, if we messed up and that was the wrong decision, let's make it right.
All the best. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Thank you so much. So friends, this was Mr. Michael Palleschi, and this is our special segment, Harjinder Gill Show, special segment, Political Pulse. We will be back after a small commercial break in our next segments.